I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? Oh, man, you can get us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Deezer, Vimeo, Roku, and Amazon Fire at Yaya Diamond TV, YouTube at Dream Chasers Radio, dreamchasersradio.com, 100.9 FM, iHeartRadio, as well as 1580 AM on Talk Radio iHeart, WCCF. Yay! We'll be right back. We have a great show for you. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so we're going to be talking about empowerment. These are the things that we really want to bring to you, especially as women of color, women in general, because we go through a lot. I mean, we get paid a lot less for the same job.
Mhm,
And I'm not going to lie to
mhm,
you. It is true. It is so true. And I have my
mhm.
guest on today, and we're going to be talking about that and focusing on that. I want to welcome her to the show. Please tell everybody who you are and what you do, please.
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for having me, Yaya. My name is
No
AB
problem.
Mambo, and I am currently the Regional Legal Director for Workplace Investigations at Microsoft. So I'm
Mm.
talking to you from Singapore right now. It's about 7
Oh,
o'clock in the
sweet.
morning. So it's kind
Oh,
of it's kind
wow.
of fun.
Sorry.
No, no, it's great. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm up. I'm energized. I'm ready to go. And
Awesome.
I've been a lawyer since 2007, and a lot of that time has been spent in employment law. So
Hmm.
everything that has been going on over the summer, from the Central Park situation with the two Coopers, plus George Floyd, and corporate response
Hmm.
to how we deal with racial injustice in the workplace, is something that for years I've worked on. So I'm very passionate about that kind of work, very passionate about the advancement of women in the workplace, and so really excited
Hmm.
about talking to you about that today.
Yeah, definitely. I found that it's harder for us. We have to work twice as hard to get the same pay, but at the
Mhm.
same time, it's like, should we really be focused on trying to climb the ladder when we're not happy, though?
So I think it depends on what you want as an individual, because there are many options. In this age, I think in the last 10 years, what we've seen is people who are not happy go and make their own magic, right? We've seen the rise of more and more entrepreneurs, and that's
Hmm.
definitely something that I endorse. But if everybody goes that route, who stays in and changes the system? Because the reality is the biggest companies still dominate the economy, right? If we're all going to go off and do our own thing, well, then
Hmm.
the big institutions will continue to look the way they look 10, 20, 30 years from now. So I think some people need to kind of stay back and kind of fight that fight. Because if you think about it, even when it comes to, who's funding startups, you
Yeah.
still got to go to the big bucks, right? So you want
Oh,
to
yeah.
have someone, you want to have diversity across the patch, is the way
Hmm.
I think about it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So being on the legal end of it all, what do you recommend? It's hard because, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the ins and outs of all of that. But there are a lot of
Mhm.
people out there, like you said, that are entrepreneurs. They're going after everything. They're learning these things. What do you, on your end, recommend we as women, we who struggle with that equality, with that money, with that development, and those issues, what do you suggest?
First thing I say is ask for it. Yeah, you'd be surprised, right? A lot of us complain about things, and then you
Hmm.
say, well, did you ask your boss for a raise? And it's like, no, John got it, James got it, so I thought I was going to get it. And it's like, ask for it, because you're going to get one of three responses: yes, no, or maybe not now, right? But
Hmm.
what I've found over the course of my career, just mentoring people, is a lot of times we don't ask for it, and we presume that it's going to come to us. And the way that the structure is built or is set up, the default is not to offer it, right? So I'd say first and foremost, ask for it. That's
Hmm.
huge. The second thing I'll say is networks are critical. A lot of people, I think, underestimate the power of the network. For example, I ask a lot of my friends, are you on LinkedIn? Yes. How many times do you post? Never. When was the last time you were on LinkedIn? Maybe when I first set it up. How do you have a network and not activate it and not galvanize it and not tap into it, right? At
Hmm.
a time when, if I think about what's going on in the economy right now, where people are losing jobs, if you have a LinkedIn network, tap into that, right? So we don't
Right.
we don't do enough of that, I think. But the third thing is, and this is the hard one, when things go wrong, you have to find the courage to raise the issue. And I think this is a very difficult one because I've been a lawyer, big pharma, now I'm in big tech, and in between, I've been a compliance officer. So I've always been on the receiving end of bad stuff that happens in companies.
Mm-hmm.
And people are really afraid to speak up because they worry about retaliation.
Right.
And retaliation is real.
Mm-hmm.
However, a lot of companies have put measures into place to ensure that, when you report, we can take some measures to protect you. But if companies never hear about what's happening on the ground floor, no one in the C-suite can fix it. And
Right.
so that's a real catch 22, right? Is people are worried about speaking up, but if you don't speak up, nothing ever happens to change the
Right.
system.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, in some cases, if you do speak up, things get worse. I think it really matters what company you work for, what their values are, and who your boss is. So I
Right.
would say ask, build that network. And when things are not working, flag it.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I would say, yeah, is, and I say this and my friends laugh, have what I call an FE budget if you can, right? And an FE budget is basically you get to a point when you just have to walk out.
Mm-hmm.
It may be because you've been asked to do something unethical or because you've been so disrespected that it's just, when you have that moment like Tina in the car, right? And you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I just can't, I have to go.
Right.
Um, and for a lot of people, that's hard because, not everybody has the finance, but you have the financial
Right.
wherewithal.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a little rainy day cash when the day they tell you to do something that's completely against every moral fiber in your body,
Mm-hmm.
chalk up the deuces. That's what I would say about how we, you know, keep the
Right.
hustle going in
And
corporate.
empowerment, being financially able to walk away is not as hard as most people may think it really truly is. It takes some
Yes,
time, but it
yes.
definitely is not hard to do. And we're going to talk about that in a different show. But let me tell you something, being a leader, being empowered to be a leader, what kind of a step did you take, and what kind of advice do you have for people who really want to step out of their comfort zone?
So I'm gonna go back to asking, but this time I'm gonna give you an example. So one of my philosophies in life is if someone tells me if you need anything, call me. I don't play with that. I call you. I see a lot of people, right? As I grew in my career, I give my cards to more junior people who said they needed a mentor, and I said, call me if you need anything, and nobody would call. I
Hmm.
can tell you a story about a gentleman who I met when I was in high school, and I won a scholarship from his fraternity. And he said, "Little sister, I see that you want to go to law school." And I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "After your first year, after your freshman year, call me if you need an internship." I called him. Okay, he got me an internship freshman year undergrad. When I went to law school, before I went to law school, I called him up and I said, "I need a letter of recommendation." He said, okay. He wrote me one. When I graduated law school, I needed a letter of recommendation for the bar exam. He got me one.
Mm.
And this was somebody who was just true to his word. And I can tell you
Right.
that story has happened to me so many times in my life.
Hmm.
If people offer you help, take it.
Right.
I see a lot of people are like shy about it. They're like, well, I don't want to inconvenience you. And I say, please inconvenience people because most of the time when somebody says, I want to help you, they do mean that. And
Right.
it's a tragedy when we don't take advantage of that. And,
Hmm.
and so I'm big on asking, but when you're offered it and you didn't even ask, boy, that's even
Right.
easier.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
the other thing
Uh-huh.
is, yeah, I was going to say the other thing is find like-minded people at
Hmm.
work. Because sometimes it's going to get crazy and you need to be able to go into the bathroom and scream with somebody who knows about it,
Oh yeah.
right? Who knows about it. So you need that.
Definitely, definitely. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. You're right. And the 2 points that you brought up was, if you do have a network, use it. Use it. And don't
Yep.
complain about anything. Just ask. and then
Yep.
and then if you get a no, then you can complain.
Yep.
But other than
Yep.
that, just ask. Wow. Where can people find you? Where can they reach you?
So I have my own podcast. Mama Talk Talks a different take. So I'm online. Mama Talk Talk is MAMATOKTOK. So I do that every week. And then I'm also on LinkedIn. So if my name is on there, if you want to reach out to me, I'm available on LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. And we're going to put all of your information in the description box below so that people can actually find you and, hook up with you. You never know. You just might meet that one person that can take you to the next level. And you don't know. You probably are listening right now. And this is the person that can take you to the next level. You just don't know. I want to thank you again
Absolutely.
so much. Did we miss anything today?
I would say, Yaya, just to say to your listeners, keep trying. It's hard out there. 2020 was a hot mess for a lot of people, but we've come through a lot.
Mhm.
And so I'll just say keep trying and reach out to people who can help, lean on each other, but just keep trying. It's how come we are where we are today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for coming on the show and your podcast. We're going to have that also in the description box. So all you have to do, you know the drill, guys. If it's highlighted, just click on it and it'll take you straight there. If it's not, copy and paste it into your browser. Click enter. It'll take you straight there. Thank you again so much for being a part of Dream Chasers Radio. Thank you so much for being on the show, girlfriend.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Yaya. And I love your
Thank
last
you.
name, Diamond.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you
Take
guys
care.
again. And don't forget to dare to be different. That's what it is. That's what it's like. That's what it is. That's run it down in between all the way through. Different.
Awesome.